What if I told you I could save you hundreds of hours annually on taking tedious case notes and instead use tools like AI to make it happen in just minutes so you could take that time back and focus it where it belongs, on your client? I'm Mel McGee, founder and CEO of We Can Code It, and I'm here to show you how to do just that. So we're going to need a few things here. And the great part about this is they're all free tools. So the first thing we're going to need is an account at ChatGPT.com. Then we're going to need a template to work from, something at the end of the day that you are proud to submit to your supervisor, or you're just proud of yourself, that contains the case notes. And third, we're going to need a transcript, and we'll talk about each of those in a moment. First, a note about ChatGPT. So your organization may or may not have a policy surrounding AI. If they don't, send them to We Can Code It. We're going to help you get a policy together. However, if you do, make sure you understand it fully. And at the very least, if there is no policy, at the very least, please take into consideration the privacy concerns that you could have with a client. In ChatGPT, after you get an account, even the free account, you can go up here to your profile picture, go to settings, and then data controls to turn off improve model for everyone. That is the bare minimum of what you want to do to protect yourself with AI and protect your clients. All right, so we're ready to go. Open up ChatGPT, make sure your privacy settings are correct for your organization's standards, and let's start prompting. So a prompt is just a direction you give a large language model like ChatGPT. And we're going to start with a prompt pattern called the persona pattern here. And I'm just going to say act as a. That's what the persona pattern is. You're telling it to act as something. And why? Why do we do this? We do this because it's sort of giving a direction to the data behind ChatGPT and other large language models, so they know, if I'm saying the word apple, am I speaking about the fruit or the company, right? You could say act as a computer person and tell me about Apple versus act as a farmer and tell me about Apple, right? You might get two different things. That's the persona pattern. So act as and I'm going to say amazing case worker who takes great notes. How about takes and reports, right? Great notes. Okay. Is this absolutely necessary? No. Do I often use it? Yes. It often helps me ensure the results I want are in line, what my assumptions might be behind the scenes. Okay. Next prompt engineering pattern we're going to use is called the template pattern. The template pattern is basically just saying, hey, use a template and I'm going to provide it to you and use it for other things. So that's that. I already have my template set up and I'm going to show it to you right now. So this is my case note template. Yours may vary, and I hope it does. I hope you find the best template out there and the one that you love the most, or the one that your supervisor or organization loves the most and uses that. I use ChatGPT to create this one for me, and I'm like, okay, this works, right? So the one thing you want to note in here it's that these square brackets exist, and these square brackets are placeholders right here for your large language model like ChatGPT to fill in the blanks, right? It's sort of like a form field, but instead of just looking at the forms, it can do so much more. It can create and fill out those fields as well. However, let's take a look. For example, purpose of meeting is brief description of the purpose of the meeting. Summary of an interaction is a summary of the topics discussed during the meeting, etc. So I hope that helps you. Create that, and I created it in Google Docs, and we're going to go to File, and you're simply going to download it as a PDF. Easy peasy. And there we go. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. This paperclip allows me to attach a file. I'm going to do just that. I'm going to attach that right now. Case note template. Great. You might have to search for yours. Okay, so we still have some prompting to do, right? Act as an amazing caseworker who takes and reports great notes. Fantastic. I have uploaded, or you could say attached, provided, whatever. I have uploaded a template for you to use. I will then provide transcripts for you to utilize when creating the final versions of the docs based on the templates, right? Now that's very wordy, and it's because I'm doing it off the top of my head. If I were being a little bit more thoughtful about it, I could make it more succinct. However, you get the basic idea, and the cool thing is that chat will too. I'm not going to put the transcript here yet. I'm just going to see what it thinks. So I just hit the up arrow intro. And it said, I reviewed your template. Here's the structure we're going to follow. You can now share the transcripts and I'll format the notes accordingly. So that's awesome. Even though I was all over the place in my prompt, it got the gist of what I was talking about. Now, let's get the transcript. Okay, so now let's go grab a transcript. You might be wondering, oh my gosh, Mel, where do I grab a transcript? Okay, so this is the part where you get to be a little creative. Where do you meet with your clients? Is it online? If it's online and you're using something like Zoom, if you record the session with the right settings, you can ensure a transcript comes out of that. And a transcript is just the written record of what you talked about, right? Or let's get creative if you're meeting in person. How about putting Zoom on your phone, doing the same thing, recording it, and therefore you'll have the meeting. Even though you're talking in person, you can have Zoom figure out like who is who. Or there are so many audio apps on that you can download for your phone, etc. There are plenty of places to get a transcript, and if there's enough interest, I'll do a separate video on this. However, for our intents and purposes, here we go. I took a transcript. Actually, ChatGPT made this transcript for me, and it just says career services coach, which is me in this case, and I'm talking to a fictitious 18-year-old student named Alex, and we're talking about his career, and I'm simply taking this template, and now I'm going to supply it to ChatGPT. I want to pause for a moment though, because how long would it take you to write just this out? Okay, it would take a long time to write this out, probably sitting there, and you're not meeting with your client at that point in time. Your attention's all over the place. So doing something like this alone is extremely useful. Now, putting it in the format your organization or you require for your records, that's going to save you even more time. Imagine writing this out and having to go through all of your transcripts for your 40 people that you're responsible for in a week, and you're spending hour upon hour doing this. We're going to take this. You've gotten the transcript, right? You got this from an audio recording, which is phenomenal. And we're just going to upload it now. It's so great. Okay, here we go. And instead of uploading this time, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to copy and paste. I'll show you how to do that. So I'm copying it. I'm going over here and here's a transcript. You don't even have to write that, but just for the heck of it. A lot of times when I'm putting data into ChatGPT, I will use 3 hashtags. You don't need to. It doesn't always require it. It just makes me feel safer, like it understands there's a break. But there we go. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. This is fantastic. Note that it's still asking me to insert the date and the time of the interaction. And why? Well, it's because I didn't have a date or a time in the transcript itself. A lot of times you will, like with Zoom and the like, you should, and it's okay. You can go and type that there. But this is fantastic. It tells us actions, pulls it out from the meeting, plan for follow-up. It pulled it all out of the meeting for us. How wonderful is that? Now, we could say, does this look good for the final version? Yeah, that looks great. And I could either copy it and paste it right into a new document here, or put it in a spreadsheet or a CRM, whatever your organization requires. However, that's the gist of it. I hope that helps. I hope you got a lot out of this, and I hope you save a ton of time utilizing free tools.